That turned out to just be the highest attack rating for the large army that Tarth was sending towards my only city. It's actually kind of stressful. They don't have the best units anymore since I wiped out their highest level lightning hammer guys, but they've got a lot of bowmen still. Um, and they have a cavalry in almost every army, and they've got a lot of armies. I don't know if you can really see that, but there's quite a bit of units still, and this is the 4th battle that I'm fighting. What I think is interesting is if you watch the first video, they kept on attacking my heavy cavalry, which is the worst unit to attack because they have the best armor, but their archers were just pinging away at it. And it's almost like the computer realized that, well, first of all, it had the lowest health on the map because it was the lowest level unit on the in the battle. But what happened afterwards was it leveled up right away because it was such a big battle. So now it's a level 3 unit, and it was a level 1 unit. So the archers of the whole battle only took away about 20 health from him. But because he leveled up so much from the battles he's been fighting, he's stayed at 80 health, and his total health is out of 145. So it's basically gone from having 5 units that are barely damaged to only having 3 units that are heavily damaged. And it's going to take forever for those units to heal up because I don't have any life magic to basically heal them during the battles. Also, I seem to be using negative mana. Let me quickly find out what's going on here. Alright, I've got Stone Skin cast. One thing I love about having Underforge, you get +3 Earth mana in my version, which is the equivalent of +12 armor from Stone Skin. So it's actually nice to have. And the rest of these are just enchantments on my city. So that seems fine. But, oh, you know what it was? The enemy knocked out one of my shards, which caused me to go into negative mana. So that's going to be rebuilt very quickly. And I've got another one building over here in my first sort of expansion area. So I guess all that's fine. Sorry about the choppiness when I move the screen. Apparently my computer doesn't handle video recording and battling as well as I would like it to. I'm going to need to update or upgrade soon. Oh, this is one thing to notice. I increased the attack value ratings for the level of a unit. So the higher level you are, you get even more danger rating, which is why my units are listed as deadly and theirs are at medium. It's because they're all level 1, which essentially means they have very little health. So even if they are good units, they're going to be relatively easy to kill. And it turns out like that the battles are ending a lot more the way you would think than with the standard version of the game, where it doesn't value unit level that highly. I think these are just teething issues with changing some of the stuff around so that levels matter more, which is fine. I like them mattering more. Alright, so this battle, as you can see, this is the main of their archer division. They've got some good horsemen up front, but they don't have lightning hammers this time. They just have normal war hammers, because these are units, obviously, that they trained earlier in the game, before they had the technology. It's odd that they haven't upgraded them. You'd think they would upgrade them. Alright. So I don't want to send any of my heroes into battle. I've sort of been using my rank and file until I get to the enemy city, and then I'll use my heroes in what magic I have left. But these are just going to be some mundane battles. I'm interested to see how these cavalry handle a large group of archers, because I'm going to get some serious focus fire here. Hope they don't kill anyone I love. But I guess that's pretty normal for war, right? Alright, so what you see now is I have one unit with charge, the Wargish Charger, which is a pretty descriptive name. It seems like Capitar would want to well-define people in their name, because they're going to have to write up an expense report after this battle. So they need to have everyone's role and abilities clearly defined in their name, so it's easier to index things, obviously. That's my logic anyways. In fact, I think some of the good faction difference for Capitar would be some bureaucratic buildings, because they should really excel at bureaucracy, which should help city growth and economy, but perhaps slow production or something like that. That would be interesting. But let's be honest, Capitar shouldn't really be training units. Anyways, they should be rush buying units. It makes more sense for their nation. Although it would be a real nice feat by the devs to be able to balance a nation that does that versus a nation that has to train. You really have to give them some good money bonuses, or just making rush buy cheaper for them. Alright, well, I'll stop talking and let you guys enjoy the battle. There's some interesting music. Alright, so what you see I did here is I had a unit that was almost, getting useless from my army. So I just moved them out of range. Since they're using short bows, I have an advantage. I can move away, and I can pretty much outrun their archers to some extent. It worked out well in this situation, but I've had that backfire before, where I actually needed that unit to come back and help out, but he was too far away. But when you get 3 moves per turn, it's not so bad. You can make little mistakes. Also nice to see the archers moving to the very edge of the screen. It's a tactically sound decision. But basically what you learn from this is that cavalry is always going to beat archers because they can get to them before the enemy has a chance to set up a melee block in the middle of the screen. Just keep them running for effect. And if you can get through there before they can block it off, well, then you can start attacking archers directly, and they lose their advantage on the map. This is going to end pretty quick. I don't know if I'll show the next battle. It might be interesting, or it might be exactly the same. I'm not sure, but it's actually probably going to be their weakest army. The only question is if they can do enough damage here to force me to return to my city and heal at the city. Which would be a pretty good feat on their part, because they can build an army the size of mine in the amount of time it'll take me... Wait, no, see. They can build an army the size of mine in every city in the time it'll take me to heal up these units. So what I'll have to do is rush by totally new units that don't have the level advantage that these ones do. All my units, they now start at level 2, whereas most of these guys are level 3 or 4, I believe. Some of them are as high as, I think these chargers here are as high as 6 or 7. And I almost might think about taking all of the heroes out of the army except for one, just send General Caratus, because I'm getting a lot less experience from doing this. If you notice, the minimum XP you can get from a battle right now is 3 XP, and it's the amount of XP I should have gotten is split by 3, so I'm getting 33% of what I should have had if it was just one hero. Given how powerful heroes are, though, I'd rather take the experience hit. Alright. Ooh, I'll get level 5 water. That'll give me Vetrar's Howl, which if they're going to send a massive army my way, Vetrar's Howl is the best defense you can imagine. I have other units that are going to get Life Master or Life Archmage, actually. So I'll keep Caratus as a water unit. Alright, so looks like they've got 2 stacks left. The one I'm going to be fighting, yeah, it's pretty much the same. Let's see if turning the animation speed up. I think that the fact that I want to keep him near the back. What was I saying? Oh, I think the fact that I'm recording this is taking my frame rate down so much that it doesn't matter what options I choose. Wow, that was an effective hit. And keep in mind, if you're watching this and wondering about performance, my performance is 1,000,000 times better when I'm not recording. I'm just getting low frame rate, I think because I'm using up too much RAM or something. One of the best things about being Tarth, and something I actually quite miss, is as you see when this unit gets down to like almost nothing weakness, he's still blocking my units from being able to advance on their archers because he has zone of control. But he also gets plus 10 defense when he goes below 50 health. So since he's below 50 health, he's got 19 defense now instead of 9. Which means I have to focus and kill him. I can't just ignore him or let a weaker unit do it, because he becomes near invincible defense-wise once I start to win the battle. It's very frustrating. Alright. Probably better to focus on these guys. Alright. Actually, the peons are doing just about as much damage. But they've got a lot of health. I didn't see that. Alright. Well... one rule, if Frogboy's looking at this for AI movement, is much like if you're learning about cartoon animation, rule number 1 about animation is that animation means life and animation means literal movement. So if we're animating these units in a battle, the first rule is always you need to make a move on every turn. Even if you have a chance to attack, the farther south I can get my units, the more options I have in the battle, and the more of the battlefield that I control. So getting well-armored or high-constitution units as far south as possible is the best thing to do tactically. It would be nice if the AI was moving its units south to prevent me from moving south this whole time while it pushes archers all the way into this corner. But its current strategy is pretty effective. I'm really enticed to take out these low-armored units that have higher attack and higher initiative first, because they seem to matter more. Alright, I got a good crit there, which will speed things up. Now I'm going to start hitting these archers. One thing the game kind of needs is if I'm right next to an archer, or once I've hit an archer, they should lose more initiative. In fact, half the initiative from bow penalties, it would be nice if about half of it was based on whether or not a unit was near them. See, this darn guy has 19 defense now. It's really harshing my ability to move onto their archers. Oh well, I gotta start sometime. I really don't want to lose these guys. Basically, you just gotta look at cost-benefit of attacking certain groups. Like these novice bow just got plus 10 armor. Very frustrating. In fact, it looks like plus 12 armor. I'm not sure what's going on there. Doesn't really matter that much. 10 armor and 12 armor is pretty much the same as far as how much damage I can do to them. Alright, 34, 84. Wow, these guys need a lot more work. Yeah, he was getting plus 12 defense. Alright, well, I guess I should have put them on guard a while ago. Because they are the target. These guys might be the secondary target. It's kind of hard to guess where the AI will attack, because I'd have to really sit there and calculate, like the AI does, what's the best move. It's kind of comforting that the AI can do it so quickly and keep me guessing all the time. Nice try. Not quite down to the wire, but certainly a detrimental battle for me, because I'm almost thinking that they've succeeded and that I'm going to absolutely have to move back to my city to repair before I can think about taking on their capital. Or at least the massive city that I'm going for. I'll show you the city. It's pretty huge. If I can get it, I can probably beat the Tarth, but if I let them keep it too much longer during this war, I'm going to have trouble taking it later. Alright. Wow, they still got 2 armies, so who knows how many are here. Oh, here's an idea for the user interface. I'm sure you guys have thought about this, but let me see how many armies are on this damn tile so that I can plan accordingly. Do I need to go back and get more units, or can I just continue to attack? Also, it might be smart to not let me attack infinitely. I mean, it makes sense since this battle's taking place over the course of a season. Of course, this kind of thing would happen. I'd be attacking smaller groups within the area of this tile. But, on the other hand, it's nice to maybe lose a half point of movement every time you attack something. Alright. I'm thinking about reinforcements now. I've got some wargs. Retressa is very powerful. Or Retressa. I might want to send her in. She's got a really good sword. Oh, I'll use these units to their last. See what happens. Oh, okay. This might be the unit that has the chainmail. I know one group of their units has... Alright. Just a second. Alright, like I was saying in this battle, it looks like they've actually been able to make some better horsemen here. Let's see... Well, they've got low initiative. I'm not going to be able to see what they can do until later. Nah, that's disappointing. Oh well. Oh, you know what might be nice is being able to somehow get his info even though he's not up soon in the turn scale. Like, I don't know, maybe a double click on a unit would bring up their info. Could be helpful. Right. My units are looking pretty weak right now. Also, I need to change this warg design. Apparently they're at 50% encumbrance, so the only thing keeping them useful in the battle is their movement ability, and that they have charge, which will increase their initiative good enough, but only for the first turn. So I probably need to get rid of that and just give them better strength. Alright, I'm moving these guys in right away this time. Oh no, I clicked the wrong button. Oh well, human error. I wanted them to defend. Let's see how the AI handles what I did. See, that's the problem. They need to realize that one of these units has only half the armor of the other one, and he's almost dead. I don't know why they would attack this guy. Other than that, I guess he's blocking this area. And this is an all melee group, so they're on a charge tactic too, I guess. But basically, this unit could have been wiped out almost, and all these guys didn't take their opportunity to attack when they should have. But you know what? Screw them. It's their loss. I made an error, they made an error. I guess that makes us even. I was hoping I would get him. This is almost enough melee to cast Pandemonium. Pandemonium's a good spell with an appropriate cost. I use it quite a bit. I assume there's better options with all the random spells you get in the internal build. But for what I have, it's pretty nice. I think what I'll do, I'll cast Obscuring Fog. Oh, let's see. think I only have one water shard. I thought I had two earlier. Or I almost have two built. That would be +5 dodge. Pretty significant against peons. But I don't want to waste the mana until I get to their city. I'm having a bit of a mana crisis. Alright, I broke my rule of constant movement by accident. That's going to cost me getting these back-of-the-line units forward, which is a pretty big deal at this stage in the battle. Because basically, whoever has the most surface area of attack is going to do the most damage. Another thing is it really matters who fills that hole. It looks like the AI is going to get to, and I don't get to move my new units in, which means my front line had better be really strong, and it's not. But I think I'll still probably survive. Alright, now I have a chance. Okay. See how much that opens up the field now for me? Alright, let's see if they capitalize. Nope, they should have moved this horse forward one into this empty square and then moved this horse around to attack those guys. That would have been how they got their huge advantage. They might have even won. Well, probably not. But they would have done so much damage I would have been forced to retreat. Since I only have one army and they have maybe 100 armies, it really matters how well I do in each battle. But they can afford to lose lots of units, which is a fair strategy. Although, I gotta say, I would like it if they just disbanded huge numbers of armies and built new ones with lots of really good equipment, as they could throughout the game. Because there's a point with every human player where we decide, okay, now it's time to really have good units in the game. And that's when we sort of start to own the AI. No matter how good they've been doing previously, we start to build these super-powered units, and their early game units just can't cope with it, no matter how many there are. And that's what I'm really testing right here, is how good are their massive numbers of units against my well-thought-out designs. But also, really, how well are they using the designs I gave them from when I played Tarth? How well are they using those, and what's the impact on the game? So far, it seems like they're using too many horsemen and peons still, just because they were never killed by anyone. They never upgraded them, or disbanded them and built something better, even when they could later on. Kind of a shame, because if they were using their full economic potential, I'd bet dollars to cents that I'd be dead already. But that sort of higher level strategic thinking probably just isn't hooked up yet for the AI, so I'll give them a pretty wide grace period. Figure that part out. All I know is that right now this battle is a lot of fun. Oh, another thing to think about is what happens if I lose this battle. That's another thing that I want to see is if I win this battle, but I take such heavy losses I have to retreat, that means that they've opened up space to train a whole bunch of new units to fill this economic gap that I've created. They're going to have a huge economic surplus from this, and so they're probably going to start training new units. And the question is, what kind of units are they going to choose at this point in the game? Because they should have tons of resources. They wiped out the Razone, and they're in the process of wiping out the Paradin. I think they also already defeated the Altair. They're being very aggressive, because they're so much more powerful than everyone else. I think they got a way better start than I did. Also, I don't know, I think their strategy is a little bit different. And I put them on hard instead of challenging. The entire game's on challenging except for Tarth and the Umber. Tarth and Umber are on hard levels, so they get some bonuses that I don't have. Which is fine. It's nice to have two superpowers on each side during every battle besides the human. That's how I pretty much set everything up. I have to say, from what I've seen here, there's a huge difference in AI capability once you start giving them a bonus, which is a good sign. It means the AI is almost there as far as being able to do it without bonuses, if you follow that logic. Hmm. Alright, let's see what happens. Okay, well, they've obviously got more sources for armies than I do. So it looks like they're going to cut through here and try and kill this fire elemental. Get to my capital, which I have pretty well defended, not too worried about it. And apparently they're sending in reinforcements as well. Dumb AI. Oh, this is kind of annoying. They didn't take the road like they should have. They went forward into non-roaded terrain, which is a pretty big mistake on their part. So it seems that the AI is succeeding in forcing me to have a limited retreat. So basically, it's hard to tell who's winning the war at this point. I have superior units, but they have enough units to prevent me from just trampling them, which is a huge change from previous games. Normally, once I get to this point, they don't stand a chance. It's nice to see some advancement. Alright, one thing I notice... my mana is leveled out, so I must have a new shard somewhere. Wow, a little graphics glitch there. That was pretty bad. Alright, so it looks like what's happening is they only show me the top 2 units in the army. Kind of annoying. Yes, I did get a new water shard. Great. Alright, a little annoyed that I'm seeing more scouts pop up. I increased the damage of the staff, so now it gives a counterattack, and has some pretty good bonuses to it. But it's still very low attack, and they're just using standard scouts. Kind of will ruin the army, because it looks like, yeah, this army's got one of the better horsemen. If the AI was smart, they'd put all those good horsemen in one army. One of the drawbacks, probably, of them seeing this whole stack as one unit is that it sees this whole stack as one unit, therefore it doesn't know how to make one really good army. It just knows how to make several armies that total something very good. So that's something you could probably look at and change pretty easily. Just say, hey guys, you need to also be you need to also have one very powerful unit in the front, and use the rest as either fodder before the major attack, or cleanup if you know you're going to win the major attack. Right now they're doing a great job of weakening me, but I have enough gold that I can hopefully rush by some of the units to refill these ranks. Oh, one thing that would be nice is to be able to spend money on in a mundane level to increase healing abilities. So, like, right now I have a healing nectar that you get as an unlock from a special building, and it's 2 Gildar, and it'll restore 25 health, but I can't give it to soldiers. It would be nice to have something in cities where I could click on a soldier and it'll say, oh, heal this unit, it costs this much gold, or this much mana, however you want to scale that. Mana would be more logical, but it would also be logical if you were buying something that would heal them from an apothecary or something. Okay, they were able to close the gap once again, which means that my heroes aren't going to get through until I kill their scouts. Pretty clever, actually, because I think their scouts are going to make me take some really bad damage from their clubs. Alright, there's a break. I knocked out their mounted unit, which means I can come around. Oh, I missed. I probably should have attacked this peon. Alright. But I'm just one step closer to breaking their line. It's kind of nice that this is the game that I'm playing where I'm fighting to break their front line. I haven't seen that in previous games as often. What I don't understand is they left their horseman back here, and I understand he has low initiative, but they should still move him up to as far as he can go. No reason to make him sit there. There we go. Okay, that should open things up quite a bit. And one of the things you'll see is that all my heroes have 3 or 4 healing nectars, because I stocked up on healing nectar before this invasion force set out, knowing that there's going to be a lot of instances where I just need 25 health, and spending 15 Gildar per potion can get expensive if you're buying 4 per unit, but it is really, really worth it to keep heroes alive. Especially since I can do it before battle and take a unit that I otherwise have to send to the rear lines to heal. I can just, you know, trade around healing nectars until he's at full health. And you know, it's a serious cost, so most civilizations or most nations won't be able to do it. But it's something that Capitar kind of excels at, is managing an army well and being able to afford high-level things like that, even at early points in the game, really. Although my version of Apothecary unlocks better potions as your city levels, which is pretty cool. Basically what I did is I have the actual building upgrading every level, but it uses the same tile art, so you don't see a change, but you do get new potions for every level. Pretty effective stuff. Right now I think it's 25 health for 6 Gildar, which I find to be a really good deal. But the reason that I'm getting that good deal is because I have a level 5 city I'm buying it from. So you have the best potions at the lowest prices. Sound like a salesman. But I probably should if I'm playing Capitar, right? Oh, I noticed in the forum that Frogboy is, or I noticed in the forum that Frogboy mentioned how they were thinking about adding in new code that would say, oh, okay, well, only Tarth gets this particular trait. It would be really nice to have that kind of code available all over the place, so that you could say, oh, well, only Tarth has this weapon available in the same tech that everyone else gets, and then say, like, maybe you have like a check like unit stat is Tarth. That's how I would do it without changing the code. If you're going to change the code, then just have a race type Tarth, or even set it up for faction difference, has faction type, and then, you know, we can just anything that we add to the faction list, we can put in the name of that faction, or the internal name of that faction, and that will mean that that item or building or unlocked item from a building will only be available to that specific faction. Kind of a misnomer to do it by race, because there's going to be lots of factions that are the same race. It's a very limited number of races. I kind of wish I was leveling more often, but I think my heroes, I added heroes, so I'm getting less. And also, yeah, level 9, so I've got a long ways to go before my sovereign levels. Let's see how I'm doing. Yeah, they've still got plenty of units. And I'm taking incremental amounts of damage each time. I should send Retrisa to the front lines each time. Oh boy. Looks like this time their army is comprised of monks. Which means my hit chance is lower. Although I get 81% with General Caratus. He looks really awesome. He's got special gear. Alright, let's see what their rear lines are doing. Okay, so this is what I was talking about before. This is one opportunity they have. They're going to use Monk Staff, because they're monks, of course. But they also have Chainmail, or what might even be plate mail, hard to tell. Looks like those guys are getting the benefit of masterwork chain, which is what I also have. Kind of sad that they get the same armor that I do, because it was supposed to be a special thing that I got for my grab, and it's actually the only random tech that I received this game, so I was hoping that it would be a huge advantage. It's turning out to not be a huge advantage. Also, their clever fire staff disguised as the ice staff is going to do a lot of damage while I'm trying to get to them. They've got mostly melee, so that mage is going to be very effective throughout the attacks. Oh boy. Looks like my heavy cavalry isn't heavy enough to take out these warriors, and they've got lots of them behind too, so I'm just going to write this charger off to death, which is fine. People have to die sometimes. Can't make an omelet without breaking a couple of eggs. Alright. Ah, they gotta dodge. Should expect lots more of that. I shouldn't have moved that unit in yet. Alright, their cleverly disguised fire mage, called an ice mage, is getting that kill. That kinda sucks. Oh well. All's fair, I guess. Oh, I never killed that spearman. Oh boy, they're really ganging up on me. This is getting to be a close battle. Okay. Nah, 31 defense should be enough. Alright, that'll open things up. Ah. So one thing I did that was dumb is I didn't properly calculate the power of the enemy army. I was just so obsessed with taking out this mage. And the effect that that's had on the game is that I'm now losing a lot more units than I need to. What I should have done is just block this off with 3 units, or let them block it off with 3 units, have all my units on the side, and then just focus fire on their monks as they come through. That would have given me much better results. But I should have powerful enough heroes this time to continue on to their city. Assuming there's an end to this army. Alright. Yeah, not going to do much damage against those spearmen, unfortunately. Better off attacking the weaker units, since they have the same weapon. Oh, that's right, she has a counterattack. She just owned him. One thing I wonder about is it's not clear if poison will stack. Like, let's say I attack you with the same guy twice. You only get poisoned from one thing because the poison's on the blade and you've been poisoned, and that's the end of it. But if a second unit with the same poison item attacks you, does that give you extra poison? I mean, logically it shouldn't, because it's the same poison coursing through your veins already. But I have a feeling that the game would give it to you because it counts it as another unit poisoning you. Not quite sure how it works though, so can't really complain about it yet. But I'll figure it out eventually, and then you'll see me whining. Oh yes, I'll whine very well. Haha. Poison killed him in the end. Reminds me of my favorite William Blake poem, The Poison Tree. If I had dynasties, I would definitely make General Caritas marry Retrisa. She's the most powerful hero in the realm right now. It's pretty hot, actually. Alright, so I don't know, I don't think their armors are necessarily getting weaker. It's starting to feel repetitious to attack. Maybe I could use Pillar of Fire. Oh, one thing to do, or not to do I should say, is don't ever stack the units like they are here when they're inside my territory. As soon as they get to this point, they need to fan out onto every separate tile they can to minimize damage from strategic spells. Because basically, it's always going to be better for me to use spells to attack them than anything else, because the AI is probably always going to have more units than me, but that are weaker. So I'm going to try and thin them out best I can with spells. It also would be nice if the AI could see, oh, he's a level 3 fire mage, which means he has Pillar of Fire. And then it should be able to check, oh, he's got 6 heroes that can cast Pillar of Fire. And then it should be able to go to unit design and choose the unit design that they have that has the most fire resistance, which would be Fire Ring plus Dragon Scale Cape, which will basically give them 75% fire resistance, and then when Pillar of Fire attacks them, they're only taking 25% damage. And then once I figure that out, I'll stop casting it and have to use something not as powerful like Trimmer or Freeze, which would, you know, make me probably lose. But it would be nice if the AI could do that. Because let's say they lose their first army, they still have a higher production value than I do, which means that they can rebuild a new army tailored to defeat me if they're smart enough. And actually that's what I'm trying to avoid right now. Really annoying that there's so many scouts in this army. I mean, I get that I've been attacking several really good armies so far, but they should put all their scouts in one army at the very end. There's absolutely no reason to mix in these perfectly good horsemen with terrible scouts. It was very roundabout. Another thing that would be cool is give these scouts, if you know they're going to be in the armies during the Beta 2 period, next update, just auto-equip every scout with some poison damage, because that actually might affect how the game goes. I mean, because they only get to hit me generally once before I kill them, but if they're poisoning the unit they hit, then that's, you know, maybe up to 10 damage throughout the battle. Alright, I got a crit there. That's a big win for me. Now I can focus on these horsemen, hopefully bottle them up, using these scouts as a wall. Which is another thing the AI needs to be careful about. Don't create walls of units that are so weak, because I can just keep them alive. Oh, okay. Well, I just blocked myself off, so I do need to kill some. Alright. I need to be able to get this guy out of here. He can still move up that way, I think. Nope, he can't move that way. So he's got to go here. Alright, so my wall strategy didn't work because I screwed it up. But if I hadn't put this heavy cavalry here, I would have been able to rape these horsemen. Probably should have made them defend. It doesn't matter. I think I've got him distracted. Alright. Nope, they're not distracted. Alright, so it looks like I've got another set of cavalry that are not going to make it to the final siege part. It's unfortunate. But at least I have these guys cornered, and I can minimize damage to my heroes. I wonder if this will effectively kite them back. Nope. Seems like if they have contact with an enemy they can hit, they're reluctant to leave that unit in favor of a weaker one. Probably a smart play. I generally stay around the units that I want. I just continually move around them until they're surrounded. Or I make sure I can attack them as long as possible while moving back towards their archers. It's generally the best thing to do. Okay, I screwed up again. Should have moved him one more unit over. Fortunately, this unit has really good movement. General Caratus has traveling boots on, which give him a pretty big advantage on the battlefield. He's got a pretty high initiative. Something I think is funny is that War gives you +1 initiative, but Horse gives you +30 weight capacity, which essentially means that Horse is giving you better initiative, potentially. Because in my case, the units that have that extra 30 are having the same equipment as the Warg, so they're getting -4 initiative for having 50% encumbrance, which is then negated by the Horse that puts them down below that, and then they have, you know, standard 20 initiative. But for someone with a Warg, you're forced to use super light armor and weapons because you don't get that bonus to carrying, but you do get +1 initiative. So as long as you have to basically be super light when you're using Wargs, and you can be a lot heavier on horses. It's an interesting tactic, although I would like to get a better bonus for Warg. Like maybe give me +2 moves so that those light units are faster. And then you have a really interesting difference between your heavy cavalry and your light cavalry, and since people who do have horses will generally also have Wargs, I mean, because it's not like one side of the map only gets Wargs and the other side only gets horses, it's evenly spread. Well, then you're creating a strategic difference. Oh boy, okay, so this one actually says that it's a hard battle. And that's extremely disconcerting for me, because all the other ones have said medium. So I'm going to waste some mana. Obscuring Fog, that'll be 12 mana. Keep in mind, I'm not getting any new mana on new turns. So hopefully that extra dodge will put me over the top during this battle. And now that I've rushed my Sovereign into the middle of the enemy, I'm starting to realize that I should have blocked off this front like I said earlier. So I'm actually going to cast Haste on him and correct my error. Block this off. and then you use shield to defend. Now I'd like to get Path of the Defender for my General Caritas, but it's probably not going to happen anytime soon. Path of the Defenders, or any path, is really rare past level 4, and I chose Path of the Warrior to get a discipline bonus. But it's nice to have counterattack. Counterattack allows you to put a unit in the very front and put him on defend, and then he'll have super good armor, plus he'll be hitting back. One of the best ideas. Which really, I mean, that's what a defender does. He goes to the front and defends well. So any bonuses you can think of that would increase a unit's ability to defend should be in Path of the Defender. I also like Reprisal, because you get another +1 counterattack, and then also +1 armor per hit, which is really good against peons and such. But really good for any battle, because if you're the defender, you're going to be getting hit a lot, because you're in the very front. Now, if you didn't see that, my girl Retrisa here just wiped out enemy cavalry. But the key to this strategy is just never advance, no matter how well you're doing. Unless you're sure you can plug up the hole afterwards. Alright, you can stay there. So this way, they've only got one mage and one bow. I'm better off taking out all their guys one at a time, and then holding my cavalry back until the end to wipe out those light units. If I had better health on those guys, I would be more aggressive. Okay, I can move these guys up a little bit, just to get all my heroes fighting in the battle. They're wasting XP, so they might as well be worth something. Alright, another odd thing is, they're not really moving up on me. I don't know if it's low initiative or what, but they're not figuring out that that's where the battle line's at. Okay, so I've got it blocked with two of my weaker ones. So now I can really eliminate what they're doing. Okay, I thought I'd get a crit there. But actually, now that I think about it, Novice Bow... Well, no, Novice Bow doesn't have high dexterity, because dexterity doesn't affect bows. So why is Novice Bow able to... I don't know, maybe I got a bad roll on accuracy. Basically, I'm expecting to get high accuracy rolls with her, so she can crit a lot. I put a little bit of work into her accuracy level. Alright, now they're moving up. I think it was initiative that was preventing them from doing what they need to. So here's something interesting. Spearmen, look, I thought they had monk staff, but I don't know, they're not dodging as well as I would think. Yep, they've got monk staff, level 2. Their dodge is 11, dexterity 10, and this horseman has better dodge for some reason. Dodge 12, dexterity 10. Alright, something's amiss here. Okay, another dumb thing is that this horseman has banishing mace. Terrible, terrible idea. Because that plus 10 attack is only valid against elementals, and I'm sure as hell not a summoner wizard. So, never going to be effective unless they're going out and adventuring a lot, which they aren't. So there probably needs to be some work done there so that they know that all the extra cash and crystal they're spending on this banishing mace is totally going to waste. Plus it's upping the wage cost of this unit by a little bit. I toned down the wage costs for good equipment at least. Otherwise they'd probably be bankrupt by now. Huh. Alright, let's figure out what's going on with dodge. Oh, I see. He's got Masterwork Kite Shield. I should have seen that. That's plus 7 dodge. That's pretty big. So, of course, he would be doing better dodge than these spearmen. Although it's impressive that the spearmen are even keeping up at all. the only item they have is that monk staff. Okay, I feel like it's a good time to move my front line up a bit. I'd really like to save these guys from damage for the whole battle. Move them up incrementally. I probably shouldn't have been so fast and loose with them in those earlier battles, but as you could tell, I really didn't know how many armies I'd be facing in the stack. I could only see 2 at a time. I really miss Galactic Civilizations. In fact, I was playing it this morning with my special mod. I was actually so terrible at modding when I made it that I can't take it out of the game because some of the core files have been permanently changed. And I don't really want to have to verify anything or deal with it too much. So I just leave it as a permanent mod. It's actually better than the core game, so that's fine. But anyways, I love how quick and simple it is to form large armies and attack things in that game. I hope that we're getting a lot of the user interface options that we know and love. Really nice to see the OGs of Starduck working on this game. I expect great things. Alright, now I can mess with these mages. Oh, what's that? Yeah, you're shooting fire with an ice staff? Here, have some poison. So as you can see, that bottle-up tactic, even though I didn't have better archers, turned out to be the best decision. Because I faced their armies on a scale of about 5 to 1. Or at least 3 to 1. Which is always going to be better. Even though they've got some good health. They're all level 2s and level 3s. And they did have the advantage of hitting me with mages. Although it didn't seem to affect me too much just because I invest in such great armor. Wow, I'm starting to feel the effects of war where you realize that after every battle is just another battle. I think that's how the first Caesar went insane. Of course, at least he conquered something, right? Alright, at least their armies are getting weaker, if not ending. Sorry this video is getting so long, but you know what? You asked for tactical battles, and this is tactical battles. Alright, I'm going to play this one fast and loose because they've got an equal number of archers to melee. And one of their melee is scout, so that's going to kill him. Alright, 42... I could cast Pandemonium, but I haven't been getting great results from it. The weak spell isn't doing enough to matter. It would be really nice if weak did the same thing that weak does in the unit design. Because right now it seems like it's just sort of a token spell. It's not gonna really change the game for me. which would be fine, but Pandemonium already has spells intended to not change the game. Weak is supposed to be one of the things that you say, oh, I casted Weak on him, I got really lucky. Or at least that's how I picture it from what Weak's description says. Alright, so a lot of clinks on my armor, but not a lot of damage. Wish I had the clink feature that Frogboy developed. Sounds really nice. Alright, I'm gonna ignore that guy. Sorry, buddy, but I've got bigger fish to fry. Oh, good. They gave something for my train units to do. Oh, see, I got hit by counterattack. You see that? They don't counterattack every time, because I gave them max counterattack 1, but they have a chance to counterattack. Really well balanced with the club shield thing you get during the first tier. Plus, this one will cost you 0 labor. It's a pretty good trade-off, really. Teresa, initiative 29. You think she'd be in the front lines, right? Don't know what happened there. Alright, so they wised up, but if they're only moving one... See, they could have moved more than one space. That would have really helped them there. They needed to move at least 2 spaces to prevent me from being able to get another attack. Wow, going after Urdael. Alright, there's a good crit. Kinda wish I would have hit these monks with it, but beggars can't be choosers, as we say in Capitar land. Alright, time to get him the hell out of Dodge. Okay, I'm getting seriously wrecked here. I really don't want to lose that unit. He's got 35 health. I should be able to get him out of here in time. Yeah. Short bows have a range of 6, I believe, and then longbow is 8, and masterwork and longbow is 9. Pretty good balance. Alright. Oh, okay. I shouldn't be attacking them. I forgot they've got 10 armor now. Tarth is very resilient. All those years of gladiator fighting. Probably a mistake on our part. We should have wiped them out and not let them go. It really came back to bite us. Okay, I'll take these guys. Yep, there's a crit. Kept them above 50% health, which means I'll get 2 good attacks on them. Okay, I should have moved that guy before he attacked. He won't be in range next turn. Okay, I don't know if mages have the same range, because they're getting some pretty good hits there. Not that it matters. Okay, here's something for you. Okay, this is the end of their stack. Hopefully this was the... okay, so... I think I took away 100 of their faction power. Which is kind of a big problem for them. I'll bet that they've got their armies fairly spread out, doing other things. I mean, they went to war with everybody in the past 2 years. So they might win those other battles, but it's going to give me a huge advantage. Because while they're going to go from maybe 5 cities to 10 cities, I'm going to go from 1 city to 5 cities. And that's a much larger scale bonus. Oh crap, I should have not sent him in. He doesn't have a shield. I was gonna send him in with a shield, but he's not heavy cavalry, he's a rusher. Oh well. Just need to make sure their archers die quick. Alright. So I can't block him in because he'll die. Just move there. Always move south if you're fighting archers. Or really, I should say, if you're taking the initiative and you want to control the middle, always move forward. It's a better way to phrase it. Alright. God damn it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I feel like he's just outside of her range. Her range might be 8, though. Yeah, now that I think about it, it's probably 8. Damn it. It's hard to remember little things like that. It'd be nice if we could see it in the user interface. Even though it's a static thing, it'd be nice to put that on each bow so we know their range. A lot of people don't even know bows have range because everyone's range is pretty much the extent of the screen. Huh, I've been ignoring these scouts because I thought they were my scouts. I'm really used to being Tarth. Alright, if he hits her, or if she hits him now, I almost want to see. Because that would mean that there's a bug in the range system, which I've suspected for a long time but can't prove. Last guy. Oh, it looks like, I know this hasn't been fixed, but there's usually a bug that affects when you have large stacks like I have been fighting, and then you defeat the final one. There's a little the little icon that shows you that there's more than one unit there stays there even after the last guy dies. Alright, so he got low health. I don't know, I might let him keep that low health just because I don't want to waste a potion on nothing, you know? Alright, moving all my necessary units to the rear. Hopefully I can kill those archers before they get a chance. Yeah, okay, that's a freaking bug. The XML says that these guys have very limited range, and it turns out they don't. Accuracy should decrease by 10 from that distance. Or just don't let them attack beyond their range. How about that? I'm gonna be really annoyed if that's what kills my chargers. I'll put this guy in front and put shield on, just for funsies. Because that's how you do it in a real battle, right? Okay, one thing that's nice is I can at least hear that it dodged from off screen. That was pretty cool. That was one of those little moments where you get that little spine tingle. You're like, oh, I just imagined him dodging because I've seen it so many times. And you realize that you're really starting to get a personal feel for the game. Or maybe not. Finally. Alright, Irdael. Yeah, see, I'm glad I didn't heal him. So, I also increased the options here by 2, because I felt like I was getting, like, Constitution shows up every single time, and let's be honest, it sucks. And I know the traits front to back, and this one isn't a prereq for anything else. It's just a a sink, basically. So, actually, I increased the function of Constitution, and he's level 8, so 2 Constitution gives him plus 8. So he's getting plus 4 HP per Constitution now at level 8. That doesn't seem right to me. It seems like if we're going to increase the abilities of Constitution per level, instead of it being level times Constitution divided by 3, I made it level times Constitution divided by 5. And I'm actually thinking about making that times 0.66 because I'm just not getting the benefit that I should at higher levels. A level 8's a pretty huge investment. Although I have to say, he's more powerful than other heroes, and he's not more powerful than squads or companies. And you know, a level 1 squad would just wipe the floor with this guy. It's unfortunate. Alright, so I could do Impulsive. That looks like it's the best option. Nice that I can double-click now. I don't think I could do that at earlier points. Alright, so for the sake of leveling this guy later... Actually, let's see, what's his initiative? His initiative's 20. Alright, so he's not over-encumbered. Wait. Yeah, he is. He's 59%, which is heavy. So that's minus 4. But he's got Fast, which is plus 2. Okay, I guess I did balance this guy out. He's got Warg, that's plus 1. Fast, that's plus 2. Base value is 20, and he gets plus 1 from being in General Caradus' army, who has Tactician. So he evens out at 20, which makes him competitive. So I don't really need to redesign the unit. Although I gotta say, it sucks that... let's see, he's got a Boar Spear and Leather, so that really shouldn't be heavy encumbrance. And maybe Warg should give plus 10 encumbrance limit, because, I mean, it would have some effect, realistically. Although, you know, admittedly, we're not all going for realism. Okay, this is one thing that I'm going to deal with later in the game. Okay, I have an outpost here. A monster destroyed it, fair game. So all this, you know, sort of went away and I didn't have it anymore. So the AI sends over Pioneer to build Tinfail. This is what bothers me. Walked through tons of drakes and spiders and golems to get to the spot. Was lucky enough that none of them attacked him, although I feel like it doesn't attack the AI as often. They plop down a city, and it only goes to here, right? So then I come back and I build an outpost. Oh no, what happened was I built the outpost first, but it was destroyed. And while I built the outpost, the AI had already sent a Pioneer on a mission to come over here. So I have my outpost, I rebuild this Warg, and I rebuild this Iron Mine. Then 3 turns later, I see that their Pioneer arrives and builds the city. It's like, well, okay, I have to go to war with Paradin to either take this city or destroy it, so that my outpost can get the resources that belong to me. It's kind of annoying, and the only way to fix that is for the AI to see that, oh, okay, he's got an outpost here now. Even though I sent a Pioneer over to take those, now I need to make a decision. If I'm willing to go to war with a stronger foe for a Warg and an Iron Mine, which they could easily take back in one turn if they so choose. And let me tell you, I'm absolutely going to choose to do it. So that's a huge detriment to Paradin, because they've got large territory over here, but Tarth just cleared war on them, so they're going down really fast. And the last thing they need is to be losing outer settlements to a northern enemy. It's really bad for them. Alright, so I'm in trouble here a little bit. I need to send units to counter this mage's army, or else they're going to destroy my fire shard again. I just know it. Alright, this charger's got 90 health, and Lanide has all the equipment she really needs to do this. Alright, I wish that doing this would send the unit to where it needs to go, but it won't. Also, for some reason I used 3 movement going from here to here, because it started in the forest instead of on the road. Always start on the road. Simple pathing. But it doesn't matter. I should be able to hold it. I don't know. Maybe not with that warg. What are they sending? Yeah, they're sending a spearman. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and just lose that, because I need to get moving. I'm afraid they're going to send another one of those death squads after me. Talk about Legion of Doom. Okay, well, the major battle is over that I thought Frogboy might find interesting to know how a good gamer is going to sort of tackle the abilities of a competent AI units. So hopefully that gives you some insight on what's going on.